hello again YouTube to my review on the Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Now, as I said, this is my second favorite horror series. So, this is Part 2 of the series. So, in Part 1 we went over the first one. Part 2. Part 3. And Part 4. So now, we're going to go over the last 3 of the series. So here is A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Part 5, The Dream Child. This was also another excellent film from the series. It had a good plot, but it wasn't acted out very well, but it still managed to make a good Freddy movie along with a good slasher film and a good and still a good gore film too. And out of the Nightmare on Elm Street series, between Part 1 and 6, Freddy definitely looks the scariest in this one. This one was around the beginning, well, maybe about 20 minutes into the film. You might be a little confused on a certain part, but you'll eventually find out later. When she has a dream, but Freddy Krueger got to her dream, but it was actually while she was awake. And he's actually using the baby's dreams and trying to turn the baby into him. And you find out really about Freddy Krueger and how he came to be, sort of more in detail. So, great film. 4 stars. This is another great film from the series, and it's also highly recommended. Another good one. And also some pretty decent deaths. So, now onto the worst one of the series, Freddy's Dead. Never mind this one. You can just leave this one alone. It was not a good film at all. It was just dreadful. There was about 3 deaths in the film. That is a very small body count, especially for a slasher film. And there was okay blood, but the acting was cheesy. Yes, the acting was bad. Freddy Krueger wasn't scary in it. He did have some good catchphrases, which reminds me, this had some awesome comedy. So, when the first time I watched this, I was of course taking it as a horror film, and I hated it. But now when I watch it again, I take it as a comedy, because if you take it as a comedy, you will love this film much more. So if you take it as a horror film, I would give it 2 stars. But if you take it as a comedy, I would give it 3.5 stars. This is a great film. Well, it's actually a great comedy, and a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street fans consider this to be one of the funniest movies. It's a great film, and well, like I said, so it's a great comedy. Not a good horror film though. Not at all. But so if you're looking to watch this film, you have to be in sort of a silly, loose mood. So you have to have the right time to watch this. So when you're watching this, don't expect much horror. Expect comedy, poor graphics, and just things like that. But overall, not that bad of a film, and you can sit through and watch this film very easily because it's just a very fun, strange film. But still, it does have sheer watchability, definitely. Now on to another great film from the saga, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. This is sort of Wes Craven's reinvention of Freddy, and Robert Englund starred as himself. So did Wes Craven, and so did Heather Langenkamp, and the guy who played a dad from the first one and the third one, but I can't remember his name. But this is a great film, and Freddy definitely looks the scariest in this one, and his claw is animatronic, and he has a knife on his on his thumb in this one. So this is a great film, and it's a great sequel. I wouldn't really count it actually as a Freddy sequel. It's not a prequel either. It's sort of a reinvention of the series. It's sort of like It's like Rob Zombie's reinvention of Michael Myers, except this one was actually done by the original creator of Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven. So it was very cool, and what this film is about the first Nightmare on Elm Street series. They were just movies, and this is real life, and Freddy Krueger actually starts to become real and actually haunts the real lives of the characters and creators of the first one. This is a great film. It's scary, and Heather Langenkamp's son. He's also a good actor, and he was probably about like 5 or 6. So it says great acting, and yes, so I highly recommend this one. So overall, I recommend the whole series, but the 2 you can leave alone is part 2 and part 6. But if you want to see them, fine. But there are some great films, and I highly recommend them because they are some decent slasher flicks. So I will see you next time, YouTube, on my review of Rob Zombie's Halloween. See ya.